Hello stars, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for joining me today for another pick a card reading. So for today's topic, we're going to be diving into the future so that we can connect with your future self and get any advice or guidance they may have for your current situation. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And of course, there are timestamps linked down below if you've already chosen a pile. But before we start, I just quickly want to say tarot is not an absolute and it does not control our lives. So please use these readings for confirmation and spiritual guidance. Always keep in mind your own free will is what ultimately matters when determining what will happen within your life. This is a general reading for the collective, so take what you intuitively know is meant for you and leave the rest behind. If you'd like a moment to ground, meditate, and connect to the energy of this reading, I will offer a brief meditation. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly fine. It just means there's multiple messages for you to hear in this video. So if you're ready, let's take a moment for a few deep breaths to connect with your spiritual team. Become fully present in your body and current surroundings, and we will jump right in. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. So let me briefly explain the cards that we have here. These two cards will be representing your current situation, where you are right now. Over here is going to be representing your future self and where they are. And down here will be all the advice and guidance from your future self, as well as, of course, we will pull some oracle cards like we always do. And let me say it just before I forget, all of the cards that I'm using are in the the description down below if you are interested. Okay, so let's hop into your reading, pile 1. So first off, let's go ahead and look at your current situation. So we have the Empress. Beautiful card. I really like this deck because it kind of has like a dark, shadowy vampire kind of theme to it. So following the Empress, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So, pile 1. What we can see from this Empress card being here and the Five of Swords in reverse is, first off, with the Empress, in case you aren't aware, is ruled by Venus. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a little sign of Venus right here, and a little heart, and that's like carved in the tree. And Venus, if you don't know, is symbolic of what the heart would represent, right? So what we love, what we're attracted to, what we desire, beautiful things and things that fill up our heart with joy, right? And with this Empress, the vibes that she is giving me, one, she's also pregnant, if you can tell on this card, which means it's easy for her to give birth and manifest things for herself, right? And she does this through, so let me explain this. She's wearing this red dress, right, which is very seductive. So pretty much she attracts these things to herself. This is how she manifests the things that she wants. And you may find yourself in a very similar situation at the current moment where you have manifested something that you've truly desired for a long time. Your heart is filled with joy and you feel passionate and just sensual and really just enjoying whatever it is that you'll know exactly what it is for yourself, pile 1. Whatever is bringing you the most joy right now, something that you've desired for a long time that has finally come your way. And whatever this thing is, we can see from the Five of Swords in reverse here. Let me show it to you upright. Upright, we have this, she almost looks like a bride. But anyway, we have this beautiful woman in a white dress. She has two swords in her back. in her back. She's chained up, and then there's this other girl here who's obviously doing the harm to her, right? So it's feeling like you've been backstabbed by someone. So whatever it is that you've manifested into your life, whether it's a love connection, right? Or it could be something that you've just desired for a long time, something that makes you feel really, really great and joyful. You feel previously in the past, this thing didn't go your way. Okay, you feel like you had been stabbed in the back and you couldn't have what you wanted and what you have right now. And the reason I say this is because we have the Empress here showing that you finally have manifested that thing you've desired for so long, and it's finally in your life, and you don't feel like you're being backstabbed or betrayed, maybe by other people or just by the universe in general, just things not working out for you. Finally, it feels like, yes, I'm imbuing this energy. I am, excuse my language, a bad bitch. Sorry, I don't know what came out of me there. Usually I don't say these things on camera, but I'm just feeling that energy from you guys. You guys are finally enjoying yourself and not feeling like you're being betrayed from having the things that you want and the things that you desire. And I love that energy, pile one. So let's see where your future self is. If I can pick it up, dang it. Okay. So we have the Tower. We also have here the Eight of Wands. So this is very fiery, almost like explosive energy. So if you're into astrology, by the time that I'm posting this, we currently had a pretty significant transit. We had Mars, Uranus, and the North Node come together all at once. So this thing, this transit, and ignore this if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you do, this transit you may thought would have impacted you greatly, but actually you got something that you really wanted out of it. And I think what your future self is saying is just be careful and watch out for the future, because it could turn into this explosive energy later on, right? Because we have the Tower here, and this isn't to scare you, pile one. We can always change our what's going to happen to our futures by the choices that we make today, right? So your future self may just be warning you if you go into this thing too quickly because you're so happy that you finally obtained it and you don't feel like you're being denied this thing anymore by the people around you or the circumstances around you, or even just a mental state of being. If you get too excited and I'm trying to think of a saying, but the thrill of the ride, if you get too overwhelmed with that, things could end up falling apart. So definitely with this Tower card here, it's saying, yes, you may have finally obtained this thing that you've wanted for a very long time, whether it's a relationship, it could be a job. You could just finally be feeling really good about yourself, okay? But whatever this is, take time to nurture it very slowly and build the foundations very slowly, because if you don't build them with slowness and precision, and you build them overwhelmed way too fast and overlooking certain things, right? You could just be so happy about the pros that you're not looking at all of the cons that may be there. And I'm not saying this is like exactly what's happening in your situation, but if you're not careful of building your foundations up very steadily and with consciousness, right? Look at this Eight of Wands. We have this mermaid and then these 8 wands here. So it's almost like, look how sensual she looks. It's something that she loves, and she's like a breath of life is what's coming to my mind. Something that makes you finally feel that sigh of relief, and so you just want to keep pursuing it as fast as you can. Just make sure you're very slow and conscious, and that pretty much you're not building your bricks up lopsided and overlooking certain cracks in the foundation, you know? Okay, pile one, let's look at the advice that your future self has for you. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Yes, I love this message that is coming through for you, pile one, because it's kind of what I've been saying about the pros and cons. This Two of Pentacles makes me think of, make sure you're balancing your pros and cons and not putting things where they're not supposed to be, if that makes sense. And also with this tree here, it reminds me of making sure to grow a steady foundation, right? But you can't do that without giving it the correct nutrients, right? You can't get a fruitful harvest if you're not looking at all the apples, if that makes sense. But yeah, definitely balancing out the pros and cons of whatever the situation that you're in, okay? Don't get too flustered and the thrill of it all, because it's easy to do that whenever we are super happy because we haven't had something that we've wanted for so long and now we finally obtained it. Especially if this is like a relationship for you guys and like you've been stabbed in the back a lot in the past and you finally feel like you found the one, and so you want to like grasp and hold on and keep it as like hard as you can, right? And you're only looking at the goods. Make sure you're balancing those pros and cons and working on the cons so that you can continue to nourish this, because really what's coming up here with the pregnancy card here and in the Six of Wands, you can see she's riding this horse, okay? The whole community's following her and she's got this beautiful baby. So really what's coming here is, no, this doesn't have to be the future. It's just a warning to not go too fast because you're so happy with what you have right now, right? Because of maybe you didn't have it in the past, but make sure to nurture it, because if you do, make sure to balance your pros and cons and work on everything in a balanced way, you can create something beautiful. As we see here, she's on this horse and she has this baby and everyone is so proud of her. But we can also see the slowness in this card, right? All of the dark colors. Yes, it's the Six of Wands. It's also very fiery, but the dullness of this card, and it's only the baby that's in color. It's like, only put your passion into creating something beautiful, balanced, and a great structure for yourself. Because if you do this, pile one, if you follow your future self's advice, you don't have to be the girl falling out of the tower and feeling maybe heartbroken again because you went too fast and didn't really take the time to nurture it in the ways that you needed to. Then in the end, pile one, we have the Three of Swords in reverse here. And let's look at it upright. So we have a heart with 3 swords in it. And what does that say? It screams heartbreak, okay? And we have this tarantula here that almost looks like he's just waiting to eat the heart. But we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So instead of heartbreak, it can be this Empress energy. It can be this the whole time. But your future self is really just saying, take it slow, step by step, really nurture building this foundation for yourself. And if you see something sketchy, if you see something like this Five of Swords situation happening again, don't just throw it out the window because of the good time that you're having. Make sure to balance the pros and cons and go forward for what's best for you, because no matter what, even if it's not this thing that you pursue, you're still imbuing this Empress energy, okay? And I can't remember if I said this before, but the signs that are coming out the strongest for me here are definitely fire signs, specifically Leo and Sagittarius. Mars in general, you may have a heavy Mars and Venus in your chart. They may also be conjunct in a fire sign, is kind of what I'm seeing here, which might in fact make it difficult for you to balance out putting energy towards the things you love, because Mars is a planet of energy. And this, you don't have to have the conjunction for this to apply, but symbolically, Mars represents energy, blah, 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 okay, and forward momentum, okay, but it can also represent this Tower card here, right? Fire, forest, destruction, things that are impactful, right? Because it's a burst of energy, and if there's a burst of energy and the foundation isn't strong, it can all just crumble. But anyway, if that's in conjunction with Venus, Venus is the planet of love and beauty. And whenever you mesh those two together, it's like this, especially in a fire sign, like I was saying, it's this strong drive to go after the things that you love. And so your future self is just asking you to slow down and make sure you're really taking care of your heart and what you truly want, instead of the fleeting emotions that may come, right? But whatever it is that you guys are going through, you're having a really good time. That doesn't mean that you need to stop having a good time. Just make sure to be aware of any issues that may be coming up, okay? Don't ignore the red flags, especially with all of this red here, okay? So, let me see. I think we're gonna go ahead and pull some oracle cards, or just one, and I'm gonna read this one out of the book because, anyways, I was gonna say that this is like kind of a darker themed deck. As you can tell, definitely some shadow issues are coming up, but this is a really good deck for those kinds of topics. So yeah, let's just go ahead, prepare yourself, take a seat if you're not taking one, because these ones can definitely blow you back. They definitely cut deep. So let's see what your future self has, what advice your future self has for you regarding this situation. Pile 1, any more advice that pile 1's future self has for them regarding this situation? Okay, let's see. Pile 1, advice from their future self. Okay, we've got one. Let me pick it up off the floor here. Okay, so 2 came out. I'm just going to take the top one because they stick together a lot. That usually happens, but I will show you both. The first one that came out was wisdom and play. Our intuition knows more than we do. Yeah, especially like I was saying about looking at like the red flags and stuff, because as we can see here, she has this kind of mask over. And look, even more, she has 2 cups like balancing each other. So make sure you're nurturing these things and not overlooking red flags, right? Be wise and follow your intuition if you feel these things, okay? So yeah, wisdom and play, and then what was behind that is responding, not reacting. The only control we have is how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Exactly. So if you see any red flags and something comes up, just try working on responding and not reacting, because with all this fiery Mars energy here, it could be easy to do so. But in general, what's coming towards you is this Empress energy that you're feeling now. You're not going to be left in the cold. You're going to get to healing whatever this heartbreak is that you've had. Okay, so like I said, let us read it from the book. Okay, let me pick this up here. So it says, wisdom and play, our intuition knows more than we do. Playtime is where we express what we subconsciously know and learn with increased ease and depth. When we playfully engage with life, it magnifies our openness and ability to be present in the moment. A state of playfulness is when the mind relaxes its control and censorship over the expression of our spirit self's wisdom. In states of play, we can freely explore ourselves and our ideas without the fear or the burden of real-life consequences. Exactly what we've been saying, because you're in this very playful energy right now. And like this said, it can be easy without fear and having this mask over this playful feeling. It can, let me just reread it. It says, in states of play, we can freely explore ourselves and our ideas without the fear or the burden of real-life consequences, just ignoring any red flags, right? Any consequences that may come your way. Activities of emotional relief and reprieve can be enjoyed, and in such carefree moments, solutions to our problems often occur to us. This is because play and creativity take place in the hypothetical space of make-believe, visualization, and imaginative problem-solving. An inner subconscious knowing can be accessed and expressed through intuitive action and reaction. The maiden is blindfolded with her head facing upward. She pours her spirit self energy from one cup directly into the other with no spillage. She appears to be relaxed and in a state of play as her intuitive pouring is achieved with exceptional precision. This demonstrates the potential of one's inner knowing and guidance to wield results that are superior to those of logic and reason. Now is a time to prioritize play. Yeah, don't forget that. Overall, imbue this Empress energy, okay? Even though past things may not have gone your way, just make sure to take it slow and not completely jump into it blind and ignoring the consequences. Where was I? I'm just going to start here. She appears to be relaxed and in a state of play as her intuitive pouring is achieved with exceptional precision. This demonstrates the potential of one's inner knowing and guidance to wield results that are superior to those of logic and reason. Now is a time to prioritize play. It is through playfulness that you open yourself to receive solutions to problems. At every age, play is the gift to yourself that keeps giving. Beautiful. I love this because that was really a message for you guys to like not fear any of this stuff. Definitely enjoy this playful attitude right now, okay? So I love that not really a shadow card came out for you guys, but more a card of play, but also play and use your intuition and know whenever these red flags may pop up. And the Maiden's message says, excuse me, honor the value of play and the unexpected insights that arise through it. Beautiful. I love that for you guys. Let me see here. I'm trying to think which oracle deck I want to use. Let's go ahead and get you guys some affirmations, okay? Affirmations from your future self to you to make you feel more content with any questions or fears you may have about the future, okay? So let's see. Or affirmations to confirm anything that you may be questioning right now. Pile 1. What affirmations does my pile 1 need from their future self? What affirmations does your future self have for you, pile 1? Pile 1's future self. And affirmations for my beautiful pile 1. Okay. So we have here unique power. My uniqueness separates me from the monotony of others, and I find great joy in this. Blending in is no longer in my vocabulary. I will shine like the moon and stars over everyone I meet. I will never again let others diminish my light. So what's coming through from this is this past corruption that you may have had may have diminished your light. Like I said, you have this beautiful fire energy here, and they may have diminished your light, and now you're like, yes, I can finally play again, and you're really excited, and that's why all that forward momentum is there. But ultimately, sorry, there's like a tiny gnat here. Don't let anyone diminish your light ever again, and that's the energy that you're imbuing right now. But if you're not careful, that can happen. So let's go ahead and get another affirmation for you. I don't know if you could tell this is a candle. There's a bunch of candles on here, which just further amplifies the fire energy here. Let's see. Others really enjoy this playful energy about you because it says here, the uniqueness separates me from the monotony of others. Other people really love that playful energy, and things from the past may have taken that away from you. So it's just really just a warning not to let that happen again, okay? Let's see. Pile 1. What's another affirmation for pile 1s? Let's see here. Look, pile 1, we have playful, and she's holding the sun. Yes, definitely Leo energy for you guys here. 100%, or just a strong sun in your chart in general. But it says, most outgrow certain behaviors from childhood, but I give myself permission to cherish my curiosity and wonder. To find magic in the mundane is a spectacular power. The world is not all black and white, exactly like this card. Make sure to keep your playfulness like at the heart of the situation. Don't let anyone diminish it, okay? The world is not all black and white, for there is color everywhere I look. I love this because of all the pops of colors in this reading. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Sometimes it just makes my jaw drop whenever cards that relate so much to what we've been talking about come out. But let's see here. We also have best version. Yes, you are imbuing the best version of yourself right now. I love this, pile 1. It says, every day I'm growing into my full potential. Therefore, I'm becoming more extrinsically valuable to the world. Sorry guys, I totally butchered that. So I will walk with arms wide to receive the challenges coming my way. Yes, any challenges that come in the future, don't let it diminish this playful, exuberant energy that's coming from you guys right now, okay? I will walk with my arms wide to receive the challenges coming my way. At this moment, I am the best version of myself, and tomorrow I'll be even better. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy here, guys. I absolutely love this, pile 1. Keep imbuing that playful energy, being your bad self. And this could also just be because right now we're having a lot of Leo transits, and so definitely just embrace that energy if it's working for you. It's obviously doing a lot of healing for you guys right now. And it's going to help you overcome any challenges that may come in the future, whatever this Tower moment is. Okay, Pile 1, I'm going to go ahead and leave your reading here. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm beyond grateful, of course, to have you here sharing your beautiful energy with me. If this reading resonated with you, please make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know. Also be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps support the channel so I can keep providing content for you wonderful souls. I hope this reading has brought you peace and harmony. So keep shining your light and living your best life, my stars. I will see you next time. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So let me briefly explain the setup we have here. Over here is going to represent the current situation you're in. Over here is going to be your future self and where they are at. And down here is going to be the advice and guidance that comes through from your future self. Okay, so let's jump into your current situation. We have the Hanged Man. We have, if I can pick it up, sorry guys. The King of Wands. Okay, so Pile 2. There's definitely something that you guys are really wanting to move forward with, okay? You're used to always moving forward, things constantly going, and kind of almost even being in control of everything at all times, okay? This King of Wands energy is just really standing out to me, is that that's who you are, okay? So you may have strong fire placements, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a heavy Mars. But we also have the Hanged Man here. As we can see here, she's also wearing a red dress, which amplifies this fire energy. But with the Hanged Man, we can see that she is tied to a tree, okay? She cannot move. And usually with the Hanged Man, the situation that we're in, that we're trapped in, we put ourselves in so that we could learn something and get a greater understanding out of something. But it's almost like now you're just ready to break free and end it. But I have a feeling whenever we get to the other cards, maybe it's going to be about needing to stick with the full process. You know what I mean? Instead of bursting out of it before it's too early, because there may still be more information or something that needs to be learned, okay? But definitely with the Hanged Man and the King of Wands here, you guys are getting almost a little bored with a situation that you may have put yourselves in, and you're ready to get onto something new, something that you really feel passionate about, okay? Because maybe this thing has become a little too boring for you, okay? But there's still more, I feel like, to be seen. But let's see, because I haven't looked at any of these cards yet, but let's see what your future self is. We have the Tower. We have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, this goes perfectly with what I was saying, Pile 2. It's like, if you let this fire out too early, I'm seeing this future self as you, if you decide to make this decision to move forward, instead of taking the full process of whatever this Hanged Man thing is that you put yourself through, whatever is becoming a little boring and stagnant that you just are like ready to end right now, okay? But if you decide to move forward with something else too quickly, as we can see here, this Tower has a fire burning from the inside out, okay? And there's a girl falling out of it, and it's been hit by lightning. So it's almost like your tower is almost completely built, but there's like one small flame, this small flame that you guys have right now. Well, maybe it's a big flame because we have the King of Wands here. But whatever is intriguing you to move forward instead of pursuing whatever you've been doing for a long time, there could be a Tower moment. Because as we can see here, your current situation is you want to move forward. And if you decide to do this, pile 2, then there could be this Tower moment. And as we can see here with this Nine of Swords, there's a lot of mental anguish, okay? And again, she's wearing this red dress, amplifying the need to move forward and being passionate to move forward. But whatever you're doing right now is also something that you were passionate about, at least once passionate about. But there's almost like this Neptunian confusion around it right now, or just something that's calling your name even stronger. But really, your future self right now, I feel like, is saying, try and hold back that energy just a little bit. Don't let it burst out yet, because it could turn into this Tower moment that makes things even more hard to bear, rather than, you know, sitting on this Hanged Man tree that you've put yourself on, okay? I mean, yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable, but she put herself there. And then this Nine of Swords, she's almost like imprisoned by these swords that she's surrounded by, okay, that lay up behind her. So I don't know, I guess the Swords one looks a little more anguished to me than this Hanged Man, because yes, they're both stuck and not moving, but here at least it was your decision, right? And here it's almost like there's regret, but you're still not able to move forward. So okay, let's go ahead and get into your advice from your future self and any guidance. But before we get into this, I just want to clarify that, one, you make your own choices and you can do whatever you want. This is, of course, a pick a card reading. It's going to apply differently to everyone, and this is not your determined outcome or future. This is just the future of what your energy is exuding to me right now, okay? And right now you're really wanting to move forward with something, but future self is almost kind of saying, like, if you do this, there could be this Tower moment that still makes you stuck, and you might just regret it. As we can see here with this Nine of Swords, there's regret. But of course, do whatever is in your ability, and whatever you truly want to do. I'm not here to affect your guys' lives in any significant way like that. I just want to give you an understanding of your energy. Okay, with that being said, let's get to your advice and guidance. We have the World. I'll explain why I giggled after I pull all of these out. We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting that we have the Nine of Swords followed by the Ten of Swords here. So also Gemini energy could be very strong for you. And this upcoming transit, we're going to have Mars and Gemini, and it's going to be retrograde and stay there for, I think it's like 8 months to a year. I mean, it's a long time that it's going to be there. And especially because we just had the Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction that seems to be coming up in all of the piles. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, pretty much in astrology, there was very fiery, unexpected energy that happened that could have given you this spark, okay? And then Mars will enter Gemini, and it's going to go retrograde, which means it's going to have to take a step back. So I kind of see that playing out here for you. But anyways, I'm rambling about astrology like I do. The Ten of Swords, and like I was saying, Gemini energy here and fire energy, very much so. Mars especially. And we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So we also have Saturn energy here, with the World being ruled by Saturn, and the Six of Swords is Aquarius. So also Capricorn could be coming up. But anyways, let's get into the delineation here. The reason why I giggled whenever I pulled this World card is because it's all about completing cycles, and that's exactly what I was talking about in the beginning. Sorry, it's shaking. It's about completing the cycle that you started, and the first thing that came out for your advice from your future self is to complete this cycle. And what happens with the World card is, yes, you complete a cycle and there is success and fulfillment, okay? So your future self is really advising you to stick this one out, okay? And what I'm seeing here with this Ten of Swords and this Six of Swords, okay? I'm almost seeing you guys are able to skip past any painful occurrences or stressful occurrences that could happen if you stick whatever it is you're doing out, okay? Because it could end up worse in the long run if you decide to cut out early, okay? Because we have here the World, it's completed the tens, the Ten of Swords, which is a 10, which is the completion of the Swords cards, right? So another sign of completion. And we have the Six of Swords here in reverse, which I'm almost getting an amplifying energy of that, because we have the Six of Swords here. She's moving away from a tough situation, and yes, maybe she had to leave certain things behind, maybe a certain idea that you want right now, but it's almost like it's amplified with it being in reverse. She's leaving something behind, and yes, you're able to leave this Nine of Swords behind, and you're also able to jump over this Ten of Swords is what I'm seeing here. But also, a different interpretation came to me as I was talking about that. We also can see here, we have this girl waiting, and she's wearing blue, so it almost makes me think of Neptune, like I was talking about with the Hanged Man here. So it makes me correlate it to this thing that you started that you haven't quite completed yet. There's still more things to learn. And we have her in the red dress, and she's just taken all the swords and moved on. But we have this in reverse, so it's like it's another sign of your future self saying, hey, hold off on exiting out too early. You know what I mean? It's like, hold your horses, complete the cycle, and see what comes of that, because you could be saving yourself a lot of stress and worry and just mental anguish in general. And if this doesn't resonate for you at all, this just may not be your pile. This one's definitely pretty specific, and I should have known when I chose this deck of cards that shadow topics were going to come out. So when's a better time than to bring out my favorite cards that definitely delve into the shadows, okay? So let's see. And by that I just mean like darker themes in life, things that are harder to talk about. But I guess that's the theme for these videos today. So let's just talk about it. Sorry, some cards fell there. Let's see, pile 2. What is the advice that your future self has for you? Okay, pile 2. Advice for pile 2 from your future self. There it is. And we're also going to read this one out of the book. At the bottom of the deck, we have wishful expectations, and it says acknowledge the smoke and mirrors in your life for what they are. Maybe talking about this desire to move forward with something so strongly. And we also have here perspective. A calm and clear mind is free to see differently. Yes, 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 yes. Because here in the Hanged Man, it's almost like in the Hanged Man, she's not, like I said, not trapped on this tree. She's put herself there and she's meditating and getting a lot of wisdom from this. So definitely try and keep this perspective with a calm and clear mind instead of acting rashly in whatever it is, okay? Let's go ahead and read it from the book. Okay. Pile 2. It says, our emotions are all about perspective. This is why we often hear a lot of caution around our emotions' potential to lead us astray. Our thoughts and feelings inform our experience of a situation. Our attitude influences our predispositions to certain thoughts and feelings, and often thwarts our capacity to perceive with a calm and clear mind. We cannot possibly have absolute objectivity or encompass all the different perspectives one situation can be seen from. However, with the distorting filter of our attitude or immature thoughts and emotions is removed, a broader spectrum of how things can be seen becomes visible to us. Yeah, especially I was talking about like Neptunian energy coming along. So you may be having heavy transits in that regard. Where was I? It says, furthermore, when we open ourselves to perceiving turn the page, a situation from other points of view, we become available to having alternative experiences going forward. For example, we may have a negative attitude toward the gym and avoid it, while others hate to miss a day. However, instead of continuing to assume that we do not like the gym, should we try it out in curiosity of why others might go? We might come to see it differently. We may even find that we love the way it makes us feel. What was our trash or aversion becomes our treasure or attraction. Our life, weekly routine, strength, general health, and body would significantly change, shift, and perspective has occurred. The gem has not changed, only our attitude, perception, emotions, and actions around it have. Consequently, so too has our reality, body, and life. For further clarity on how you might use this approach to see differently in overwhelming and less concrete situations, here is an increasingly metaphorical example. Let us say that you are afraid of drowning in water and that you are unable to see is at a high neck level. Instead of splashing about in fear, you could question the fear to find ways of seeing your situation differently or, in this particular circumstance, more realistically. You might ask yourself, am I really in danger of drowning, or is my fear of drowning clouding what I am seeing to be real with what I am feeling to be real? Exactly what we've been talking about, wanting to escape this situation, but maybe it just needs a shift in perspective, and then the completion comes along. Okay. It says, how would I perceive this if I did not have such strong emotions around it? And is this as deep as I think? How would right now be for me if I was a confident swimmer instead of someone who just knows how to swim? What if I stopped kicking my legs and pushed them down to see if my feet touch the floor? There's tremendous power in separating ourselves from the emotion and negative thinking toward whatever we are confronted with. Nothing is what it seems when heightened emotions and manic thoughts are involved. Yes, heightened emotions and manic thoughts. This is why we really do to create our own reality. We just often unintentionally create it in ways that do not best serve us. Seeing from a state of calm and clear mind opens us to broader perspective, closer to that of our spirit self. Often, when a shift in our ability to perceive differently becomes available to us, we can identify a way out, an alternative, or a solution. So in times of distress, try to remember to ask yourself, is it possible to see this in another way, in a way that empowers me? You always have the power to seek new ways to perceive and feel about anything differently. The key is always available to use when you feel trapped or overwhelmed. If you can see something differently, you can experience it differently. And the Crone's message is, the only thing that can limit you is your perspective. Beautiful, especially with the Gemini energy coming out here. Really, really beautiful message, pile 2. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get you some closing affirmations. Pile 2. Pile 2. Yeah, so especially about shifting your perspective so that maybe you don't want to go to something else so rashly and so immediately. Maybe if you find a different perspective, that's where the missing key is. As I was saying, there's something more that you need to learn in this situation, or there's something more to be learned, and you can almost like jump over and skip a lot of the mental anguish and fears if you shift your perspective and decide to complete whatever this thing is. Pile 2, what are some affirmations that Pile 2's future self has for them? Affirmations for my Pile 2 from their future self. Okay. First one we have here is slumber. When I drift off to sleep, my mind allows me to slip into a restful slumber. If dreams arise, they are pleasant and calming. This time allows my body and mind to reset so I can start my day with vigor. Yes, exactly. So if you guys are definitely feeling overwhelmed with this energy right now to move forward, just try and take a deep breath, especially make sure you're getting enough sleep, okay? And especially, there could be certain keys of wisdom within your dreams right now, something to help you see this in a different perspective. It might come from a dream that you're having, especially if you already had that, then take this as your message and confirmation, okay? But definitely just try and embrace the calmer, slower energy, more feminine energy, okay? Instead of getting overwhelmed and the fire and air and the masculine always go, 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 okay? Make sure you're really embracing the need to hold back and withdraw yourself sometimes, okay? So that you can see a different perspective. Okay, pile 2, what are some more affirmations from your future self? More affirmations from your future self, my beautiful. Pile 2, look, we have unexpected growth, and I love this because I was saying, you may have a need to always go, 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 but the thing is, if you hold back and decide to take a rest and let nature take its course, there could be some unexpected growth that you did not expect to see, because you were like, well, if I sit down and do nothing, nothing's growing, and that's just not the case. And whatever this is, there's still more to learn. Even though it looks like whatever is over, there's still more, and it's not completed quite yet, so just hold out for a minute. It says, I will remember perfection is impossible. Mistakes are inevitable and do not cause evil in my life. Failures are how I learn, grow, and manifest my best self. I will embrace my perceived missteps with open arms and welcome the experience into my life. Beautiful. Let's get one more card for you, pile 2. One more affirmation from your future self. some beautiful words to encourage you and affirm you in your future. And I love that this unexpected growth card is over the Tower and the Nine of Swords, because like I said, it doesn't have to end up like this. There could be unexpected growth. It just depends on the decisions that you make and the perspectives that you have of the situation. We have here forgiveness. I will grant myself the same forgiveness and understanding that I extend to my loved ones. Painful thoughts that hold guilt are simply memories and acknowledgement of growth. I am not the same person that I once was, and knowing this is glorious. Beautiful, pile 2. So I'm going to go ahead and close your reading here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am beyond grateful to have you here today, sharing your beautiful energy with me. If this reading resonated with you, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps support the channel so I can keep writing content for you wonderful souls. I hope this reading has brought you peace and harmony, so keep shining your light and living your best life, my stars. I will see you next time. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So let me briefly explain the setup that we have here before we begin. So these 2 cards up here are going to be representing your current situation. These 2 cards over here are going to represent your future self and their situation. And these 3 cards down here is going to be the advice and guidance that your future self has for you, pile 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into your current situation, pile 3. We have the 9 of Wands in reverse, followed by, if I can pick it up here, sorry guys, the 9 of Cups in reverse. So we do have 2 9s here, which is interesting. You may be seeing a lot of 9s popping up recently. And, I'm not super into numerology, but I'm pretty sure, and what I'm getting from these 9s popping up, is that you guys are heading towards the end of some kind of cycle, but there might be some sort of hiccup where you're like, I'm almost finished, there's one more thing that I need to complete, but there's one hiccup getting you, that's preventing you from getting to that 10, that completion, okay? So what I'm getting here, pile 3, is that you guys might be putting a lot of effort, a lot of eggs into one basket and feeling like you're not getting much in return, okay? So with this 9 of Wands here, I'll show it to you upright. We have this Joker, and it almost seems like there's, from our perspective, we're the ones in the cage, and it's like this Joker is the one that's like, hey, come out of the cage. I have a way, a trick that I can show you to get out of this cage, right? But we have this in reverse, so I feel like it's almost as if it's not a trick to get you out of this cage. It's almost as if you're ready to get out of it on your own. But also with this 9 of Wands popping up here, there's a lot of energy. You feel like you can't get out of this cage even though you want to so bad, because there's other things that you need to complete before you can do so, right? I'm getting the feeling of putting a lot of tasks on your plate, right? And with this 9 of Wands in reverse, it's like you want to break free, but you can't because there's just so many things to do. It's like, from one perspective, you're the one in the cage, and then in the other perspective, you're also the Joker that's like, hey, come out, there's more fun things to be doing. But for some reason, you're still repeating and doing the same tasks right now. Whatever that means for you, pile 3, it's going to be different for everyone's situation, obviously. But whatever situation you're in, you're struggling with moving forward because of all the tasks that you have to complete. And there's really not very much satisfaction in getting these tasks done anymore, okay? And we can see that because with this 9 of Cups here in reverse, okay, with the 9 of Cups upright, I'll show you quickly. We have this cat. He's caught his lunch for the day, it looks like. It's this bird, okay? So you would think that the cat would be very happy, right? He's got his lunch for the day, he's set up, very satisfying, okay? It's very fulfilling, right? Because it's going to fill him up, essentially, his belly, at least. But anyways, we have this 9 of Cups in reverse, so that's what makes me think that the tasks that you are continuously doing are not fulfilling anymore, and you're almost wanting another way to the other side, but yet you're still completing the same tasks over and over. It's almost like you also feel like the bird that's in the cat's mouth. Rather than being the cat who's caught his prey, you feel like the prey being overwhelmed by all of these tasks and things that you have to do. And like I said, apply it to your own situation. But let's go ahead and move on to your future self and where they are at. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. And we also have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is coming through very clear for me. What I'm getting with this Knight of Swords being here is that your future self, there's many routes that your future self can go down. So this is just one route based off of your current energy and how that would play out if you were to continue along that path, right? So there could be many different versions of this. But right now, as of your energy right now, if you continue to keep doing these tasks, even though they're not fulfilling, it actually looks like it's going to end up very beneficial for you. So it's interesting that the Joker comes up here, and how I was saying that's another aspect of you wanting to just give up on these tasks because they're so unmotivating, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be daily tasks. I know I keep saying that, but whatever it is that you're having to do over and over again, it's becoming repetitive and not fulfilling anymore. Your future self is still, it went down that path. It still did the tasks, even though they weren't fulfilling. And yet we did end up getting to a 10. Because as I said earlier, we have these 9s here, and it's like there's a hiccup to get there. And what I feel like your future self is saying with this Knight of Swords here, as we can see actually in both of these cards, and these cards, we have the bird and the cat's mouth, but in these cards, we have these birds here and the Ten of Pentacles, right? They're sitting on the tree, protecting the things that they've accumulated, okay? Because the Ten of Pentacles is all about growth. You may be struggling to feel like you're going to get any growth out of the thing that you're doing, rather than just like, this repetitive task is getting me nowhere. I do think that if you stick with it, Pile 3, and you don't have to. This is just what your future self is showing, is that he did stick with it. Even though the cat caught him, there's still all of these birds here. So it's like you still have so much energy within you, even though you feel like you might want to just give up on it right now. There is a lot of potential, because as we can see here, we have these birds, and we do have a cat down here still, and he's not trying to go at the birds. In fact, he's got his own little baby, and it's almost like if there's something that makes you feel like, it's holding you back right now, it could, matter of fact, with the Knight of Swords here, some kind of conversation could happen to open you up to be able to work with this other situation more easily. For example, it could be a person saying like, hey, I know things aren't working and things are just getting exhausting doing this together, whatever it may be, a relationship, a task, apply it to your own situation. But they come up to you and they try and resolve things, and so you're actually working together, and then that might be the hiccup that needs to be overcome. So definitely a conversation needs to happen for this Ten of Pentacles to show up, for you guys to feel more fulfilled. Or this just could be you, right? It could be about not enjoying a certain technique that you're using, but actually a new idea might pop up, or a new understanding of the thing might pop up that makes it a lot easier to get there. But with this Ten of Pentacles here, we can see that it is going to be quite a slow process, but the spark of inspiration, or this new idea and understanding that you're going to have to make it easier to work with these forces, is coming up quickly, because we have the Knight of Swords here. But getting this task fulfilled, whatever it is for you, will take a while, but it is well worth that, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into the advice and guidance that your future self has for you, Pile 3. We have the Tower, the Ace of Swords, exactly like I was saying, having this spark, this new idea, this new understanding, this new almost like motivation, but it's not like, you don't have a problem with energy. I really don't see that, Pile 3. You may right now because things are so boring, but ultimately you don't have a issue with having the energy to get things done. It's more like you need to be excited in your head to do the thing, right? So it's like this new spark of mental motivation, and that's really what's coming up here. Okay, let me pull this next card. Yes, we have the Death card. Okay, this is coming through very clearly, and look, she's wearing wings. It's like I was saying, you are the bird, and almost something's going to change to where you can work with this force in a new way. But like I was saying, your future self has very clear advice and guidance for you, that if you hold off for a little bit, this new spark is going to come to you very quickly. We have the Tower card here, right, which suggests a change in the situation, a drastic change, but I don't see this being really a bad thing, to be honest, Pile 3. I know these cards can look a little a little frantic and scary because we have the Tower card and the Death card here. Yeah, that can look a little scary, but ultimately what I'm getting through this is that it's just going to be a significant change. We have the Tower card representing change, an unexpected change also. Like I said, you're probably not expecting to have this new love and passion for what you're doing, this new mental motivation to do whatever it is that you're doing. But we can see that with the Ace of Swords, it's coming. It's coming quickly and unexpectedly with the Tower card here, okay? And with this Death card here, it's going to change things more than you know, more than you realize. Like I said, you kind of feel like the bird that's been caught in this trap, and we can see that with this girl feeling so depleted, right? And her color, look, she looks a little dull. But we have this clock, and it's like the clock is counting down for something new to change in the situation that makes it a little easier to get to this 10, okay? So not only are you going to be able to complete something if you hold off for a little longer, but you're also going to be getting a new beginning with this. It's going to be the same thing, but a new mental beginning, a new perspective over it that's going to make it a lot easier to accept whatever situation that you're in right now, whatever it is that is feeling unmotivating, unfulfilling, and just not bringing you any peace or happiness. It just feels like almost like a waste of your time, and you feel like a joke for doing whatever it is you're doing. But your future self is coming to say that things are going to change very quickly. Some new information is coming your way. So just hold out for that, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and draw an oracle card for you guys. And I am going to read it from the book. Pile 3. Message from their future self. What message do you have for my pile 3? Messing the cards all up over here. Let me see. Let's do one more shuffle. And that should be good. Alright, pile 3. Let's see. Advice and guidance from your future self. Where's your future? Okay, here we go. So 2 came out here. We're going to take the top one. And then on the bottom, we have radical honesty. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. Okay. And then we have here key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Yeah, this rings true with what I was saying about maybe it could be a relationship where you're not working well with somebody, but there could be some spark that makes the communication a lot easier, okay? So whatever the relationship is that you're having trouble bonding with, there is going to be this unexpected spark that's going to transition the whole perception, communication, and aspect of whatever it is. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a person. It could just be with something you're having trouble feeling intimate about, feeling joyful about. But the second card we had here was presence of absence. Hold what is absent in the presence of your love. Okay, let me stick this in here. Okay, so let's read this from the book, pile 3. Okay, key to intimacy. It says, if you can see that, okay. Regardless of whether we have received unconditional love while growing up, coming to know and accept ourselves in such a manner is challenging. Unconditional self-love is necessary, and there is a learning curve for being able to allow another to see into us and accept all that we are and are not. This includes our most raw and least flattering shades. We all have them. It is desirable but not easy to let a deserving other into our lives deep enough to know our full spectrum. So you could also be having trouble opening up about you struggling with this. And so maybe the key of communication that you need is coming from you. And if that doesn't ring true, then just leave it at the door. But for those of you, there's that. It says, once we know and accept and love all of who we are, we become fully available for another to accept the totality of us too. It also builds builds in us the strength and integrity to walk away from those who cannot genuinely respect or accept us, rather than internalizing their judgment, rejection, or desire to change certain parts of us. Developing the capacity to honor and care for ourselves despite our flaws and shortcomings also equips us to hold loving space for others without judgment, conditions, control, or petty rejection. So you could just be having a hard time really opening up to others, especially with this being the only Cups card and it's in reverse. Whatever it is could also be making you struggle to connect with family members and those that you love. But like I said, there is a spark coming that's going to bring this back into your life. It says, the journey to self-intimacy further teaches us the value and beauty of our flaws. We learn to recognize any challenge that tests the intimate space we share with another as an opportunity to grow closer and stronger from working through it together. Exactly like I was saying, working through something with somebody else or something else. The purpose of obstacles is not to create distance or stop us, but to enrich, further connect, and expand us. Intimacy is as much about accepting each other's differences, struggles, and uniqueness as it is about respecting one another's boundaries. The key to intimacy with another leads to knowing, valuing, and supporting each other's paths. While it is necessary for our paths to parallel and be faced in with some direction, it is essential for them not to enmesh. Be careful to whom you trust the key for your heart. The featured mother wishes to remind you that pure love, respect, and integrity use what is uncovered to lift, support, protect, care about, and empower you. In any instance that a person should prove unworthy of the key to unlock this right here, that's interesting. The key you have entrusted them with by using it for anything untoward, change the lock. It is never okay to have the sacred trust disrespected or abused. You always hold the right to take back your power. The same holds with you in regard to another's trust. Be equally honorable to and respectful of how you treat any key given to you. If you ever need to hand a key back, do so. In respect of the intimacy you had once shared with this individual, continue to manage with integrity and discretion with what was exposed and trust to you. And it says the mother's message, to see into yourself with the eyes of love allows for another to see unconditionally into you. Of equal importance is that it, in turn, allows you to lovingly see others in this way. Yeah, so pretty much this was just a key to show you that this key to intimacy is coming. You are going to be getting that key, okay? You may feel like there's a joker on the other side that's just tricking you along the way, but ultimately this key is coming. But let's go ahead and get some affirmations for you from your future self, just to give you some clarity, some guidance, and some heartful words of affirmation to make you feel more content. Pile 3, what are some closing messages and affirmations that your future self has for you? Let's see here. Pile 3. Let's see what your future self has for you. Look, we have another key. My heart dropped. I love when this happens. It says, taking control. I cannot control how people treat me, interact with me, or communicate with me. I only control my own actions and responses. I will not be affected by others. I will not be affected by how others view me. Instead, I will embrace my own self-love and self-assurance for guidance. Yeah, so really what you guys are needing right now is some self-love and self-assurance. And I feel like you guys are really good at taking control of whatever it is. You guys are really good at keeping yourself in a box, even if it's hard to keep yourself there. But I definitely feel like there's a relationship in this situation that's going to be taken control of, okay? So whatever feels chaotic right now, you're going to get the key to get control back in the situation, and not in a negative way, but just more like a steady flow, right? Another steady state. And we have here, money magnet. With the power of determination, I attract profitable opportunities, money, and I pull toward each other like clicking magnets. The universe acknowledges my dedication, and so the universe rewards me with fruitful bounty. So this is saying pretty much whatever it is that you guys are wanting right now, you have the ability to manifest that towards you, but really what's going to help that happen is your attitude towards it, so that you can attract it to you rather than blocking it away from you. And especially in case of this like spark that you guys are hoping for and waiting for, and you guys might be excited that you're getting it, but your future self is telling you the only way to get there is to kind kind of change your attitude about the situation a little bit, okay? So let's see. And especially with the Ten of Pentacles here, if you guys are worried about money in this situation, how I was saying you feel like you're doing menial tasks for no growth, there will indeed be growth in this situation. Okay, one more closing affirmation for my beautiful pile threes from your future self. Let me see, I just want one more, but I'll show you guys these. We have water cycle and productivity. But just one more card for my pile three, a closing affirmation they need to help them from their future self, advice and guidance, an affirmation for my beautiful pile three. Okay, have one. We have here ambitious. Yeah, this goes right along with the productivity card that just came out. But you guys are very ambitious. Like I said, you guys have a lot of energy, but it could just be dimmed down right now because of the mood of the situation. It says, in a world where possibilities are endless, I can do anything I set my mind to. Power and ambition courses through my veins. When I intentionally reach toward my dreams will meet me with open arms. Yeah, this is just further confirmation of really manifesting this breakthrough towards yourself. And the key to doing that is just keeping your energy in control. I was going to say try keeping it at a high level, but that's not really what I meant. Try not to let other people's energy dull down your ambitious energy is really what I'm seeing here. And once you do that, I feel like the consolation that you're needing from this other person or this other object or situation will finally be magnetized towards you, and you'll get that key back to enjoying whatever this situation is. Okay, pile three, I think I'm going to go ahead and close it there. Thank you so much for watching. I am beyond grateful to have you here today, sharing your beautiful energy with me. If this reading resonated with you, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know. And please be sure to like, share, and subscribe as it helps support the channel so I can keep providing content for you wonderful souls. I hope this reading has brought you peace and harmony, so keep shining your light and living your best life, my stars. I will see you next time.